So here Joe and I are at ArcLight Memorial Park, which is the original site of Old 100, which is a B-52 bomber that flew 100 missions over Vietnam and was retired shortly after the Vietnam War. So we'll zoom in. We're panning a little bit. It's a massive plane. And in the foreground you see a nice planting here with some red ginger sticking up out of it, just to prove to you that I do know a little bit about plants on Guam. Let's walk in and see if we can get a closer up shot of that. This is, as I said before, this is not Old 100. This is another retired B-52. The remains of Old 100 blew away in a typhoon, and we're going to go see them shortly. This bomber was quite a project because it was recently repainted. The engineers looked at it one day a couple of years ago and realized that it was about to fall apart because of the tropical weather on Guam. There's really a lot of metal fatigue and rust that happens really quickly. So it's quite a technical feat to get this painted. They talked about the science of priming it and then painting it, and it's painted in camouflage, which you may or may not be able to see. And they couldn't do it during the heat of the day because the primer and the paint dry too quickly in the heat of the sun. So that's all for now. We'll talk to you when we get to the original ruin of Old 100.
So we're still at this not Old 100 bomber, and that little spot of aqua that you see there underneath the base of the plane in front of the wheels is actually Cheryl, and so that gives you some idea of the scale of this big thing. So I'm going to just begin to walk in forward here. I'll try not to jiggle the camera too much and give you an idea of how big this guy really is. And as we come closer, you'll be able to see that Cheryl is quite snappily attired in dragonfly pants. Thereby, in keeping with the theme, there she is waving to you now. Delighted to see you from afar. And you can see that now that we're in close and we can actually see her, we can see hardly any of the wingspan. And I assure you that that siren is not coming to get us. Here we're just going to do a quick pan, show you some of the parts down here. It's the landing gear. Zoom in a little on that.
Those wheels are about 4 feet high, but the tires actually are 4 feet high.
And then taking you out through the wing, the engines, and out to the glorious palms of Andersen Air Force Base. That's our tour of the not Old 100.